Now they started talking about blood. So we went home. Now, that same night, that's when the state of emergency was declared. Something emerged out of that meeting, and that also emerged from the independent church, because some of the people who were at that meeting were also members of the independent church. And then the songs, as I came to discover later, at that meeting, the kind of songs that we were taught in the independent church were different in content, but the tune was the same. So I came to discover to learn from the Wazes there that when the meeting ended at Mubea's home, then they agreed, they concluded a pact of unity, a unity pact, and that was cemented in a song. Because they did not want anybody to know what they were talking about, they chose a tune that was religious. They were also making references to the biblical texts. The song went like this: Amiru nagikuyu shana cha mwadhani haikaragai nadayo mwambe muiguane nitukwamba gwishiria uhoro wa migwi hai na wa matimo nango takirai muigwe tene kwali Judasi wakwendia mwathani hai na riu kuri Judasi wakwendia githaka muraika wa mwathani arugamiceni hai akiendaga gutonya githaka kia Ngai. Now, that was a song. We would sing it in the church, but then other people would think that, okay, that is a church song. We are talking about Judas, we are talking about the Bible. There was a lot of tension around. It had been building up. And even the type of dances had changed. There was a dance that was popularized since the late 40s after the Second World War. And that dance was championed by the ex-KR soldiers, and it was called Commander. Commander was the Kimeru pronunciation of commander, because the military command. So they would form a line as they were dancing, following their command. So it was called Commander. And they were saying that Commander which means commander is not a bed for you to come and tell me, create a space for me. Get your own space, okay? So you could see that type of tension, of defiance, because they would even sing songs criticizing the Wazungus. Now, those dances kept on being intensified towards the end of 1949, and then, of course, 1950, and then they were even banned. At one time, Commander was banned by the DC in Meru Town. There was so much talk, from late 40s and even early 50s, there was so much talk about the cow. And cow, some people did not know what cow meant. But except those members who are also now, the Wazes now who are discussing these issues with my father, they were talking about the Kiamagia cow. that is, they were talking about the formation of Kiama Gyakau. And then, when now, during the emergence itself, and even before then, they were talking about Kiama Kiamau. So, in the commander dance, they were singing Kiama Kiamau tulinganirwe kwa baithumbi. That was as early as 1948. Because Baithumbi was a white district commissioner in Meru. He was called Mr. Johnson. He had long hair, like a crown, like a mungi. And in Kimeru, that is called Idhumbi, also in Kikuyu. So people gave him the nickname Baithumbi. Just the way they were referring to Baimungi as Baimungi. So the reference is that to heard from the Wazees, and even commander dancers, they were talking about, they were singing songs about Baithumbi. So they were saying Kiama Kiamau. That is the members of the cow, which has now become Mau. They should meet Baithumbi in Meru town, face to face. One time, because these people now, the military, the former KR people, were very, very defiant, because Baithumbi is the one who had banned commander. If you are coming from Embu side, you are entering Meru town, you cross the bridge, that is Kazita River, okay? To the left is a Pig and Whistle hotel. The shops are ahead of you. To the right, buildings have come up there now, but that was a field where a commander dance used to take place. Now people, commander dancers, used to meet there. This time, I think it was 1949, 48, 49, Baithumbi had banned commander dance. But the dancers defied that commander. And they organized themselves to go and dance. Normally dances used to take place in the afternoons. This time they went in the morning. They waited up to around 9 o'clock when the DC Baithumbi was in the office, so that they could sing when he was in the office. And they make sure he hears. And if he sends his askaris, which he did, and they dressed like commander dancers, but they were eavesdropping. So some memorable songs were sung there. One of them used to say that Tugatiga Kuina, commander, we will stop dancing commander only when the Mzungu stops his Mzungu's dance. Okay? And then they said another one, they would say, Bwere Baithumbi. Yani, tell that Mzungu Baithumbi ngale yalemera mwena joe kamba. That is, the vehicle is stuck in Ukambani. The meaning was that the commander dancers and the Mau Mau thing has spread beyond this area, beyond Mount Kenya area. It is even extending to Ukambani. So they were also going to intimidate the Mzungu. Now, what happened then is that when they noticed that those spies there, then they sang another song. They identified those Mzungu spies by using a name, Ntondado. They said Ntondado ate kuina ni matwago tabia, which means when you see Ntondado here, he is not just dancing, he is eavesdropping, hearing what you are saying, so that he can go and report, which meant that they had already identified the dancers here. Then when the message went to the DC, he sent his askaris. He was very, very furious. He sent his askaris. Instead of arresting them, the dancers, he asked them to go to disperse quietly. You see, they were prepared for the confrontation. But when the Mzungu decided he should not confront them, so they also relaxed and they felt that they had won and they went away. That kept on being repeated as a point of reference. And I remember on the 19th of October, because we would always go to watch these songs in the afternoons. That particular afternoon, the kind of dances, the kind of songs were intimidating in the kind of the message that was being conveyed. Now they started talking about blood. I remember one particular soloist, who was called Ntuitonga. He started singing about a place where they would go. He would say they, Kalimatugatura, okay? A hill where we shall reside in the future. He would also sing, saying that my sisters and brothers, are you hating me? Are you betraying me while the outsiders are also betraying me? Now, those people started now whispering around. And then you could feel that tension. Even at that age, you could feel that tension. And then you would also say, you would say, let me say bye-bye to you, because we may not meet again. And if we meet, it may be in a different environment. So as those songs kept on intensifying, and the other one, of course, would respond to him. And then where he hit the nail on the head, you could hear the ladies ululating, kuringa kuankemi. So somewhere late in the afternoon, people started moving away. So I told my friend with whom we were sitting there, let's go home. So we left a little earlier. And when I went home, I told my mother, asked me, why have you come? I said, no, we felt, there is something that is not right. So we went home. Now, that same night, that's when the state of emergency was declared.